Hey guys, Burnished here, bringing you another cast of League of Legends, and in this one, we're actually going to see me in the mid lane as Morgana. The reason why I picked this replay instead of going for one of the usual spectator games is just because I thought this was a well-played match. This was a ranked game. It's not high elo, but I thought it was a very well-played game. There was no AFKers, there was no feeders, there was no troll picks. It was just a genuinely decent game of ranked, and I haven't had one of those in a while, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. Everyone played to the best of their abilities, and the teams were very even, so it made some really intensive fights and some really good scenes. So here we are in game, and this is a LOL replay match, so I'm going to focus the camera onto myself, Morgana, in the mid lane. So we're going to have a lot of mid lane action. I'll zoom out just a little bit so we can get a bigger overview of what's going on in the lanes, etc. So about this team comp, I do really like this team comp, and there's me sort of walking over to blue, forgetting that there's a Shyvana. Good job, me. Anyway, as I was saying, I really like this team comp because we have the Shyvana. We have lots of damage coming from Shyvana. She also has exhaust, so she's got that extra bit of CC. She has a dragon form, and then her dragon form makes a lot of her abilities AoE Coney abilities. So that makes her very, very powerful in team fights. We have a Malphite whose ultimate is a great initiator. We also have a Blitzcrank whose pull is a great initiator. But Malphite's ultimate, more importantly, is AoE, so AoE knockups all around. And then we have me as Morgana, so I do of course have my AoE ultimate stun. So we're a very AoE team based comp, and we have Vayne also there as our AD carry, who can do a lot of single target DPS and also stun if she needs to. So our team comp is looking pretty good. And in this game I was first pick, so we were going through the banning phase, and we ended up not banning Morgana and Shen. So that means that the enemy team did unfortunately get a Shen, which means they do have access to that ultimate. But I of course got Morgana, so I think we came off a little bit stronger in that sense. I don't think Shen would have been better in the top lane, and then me picking a different mid. I don't think that would have worked as well as this team comp did. But on the other team we do have an Anivia, so mid lane is going to be basically a farm fest. Once Anivia hits 6, she'll be able to just put down her ultimate, farm like hell, and I think we stay about equal farm until we go into team fights, and then she starts gaining the farm due to most of my team having really good farming capabilities. Malphite obviously having that ground slam, which does quite a lot of damage and also is very good for clearing minion waves, and Vayne of course. There I do get stunned because I forget to dodge it, and then I do a random bind. I'm not the best Morgana player, I'm going to say that right now. I don't do particularly well in this match. I'm more of a utility to my team rather than a kill. So yeah, I don't know what happened to that Flash Frost. That was a bit weird. That sort of was about to hit me and then didn't for some reason. And I do get Anivia to like nearly half-life there, which is quite nice. And as I was saying, I'm not really here to get kills necessarily. Kills are very nice on Morgana. They obviously boost up her money, allowing her to buy better items earlier on. But Vayne with those kills is 10 times better. Vayne being a very strong hyper late game carry just makes it really good for her to get most of the kills. And that's essentially what won us the game. And there we go, there is first blood. Shyvana did go down to bot lane for the early gank, and I believe it was a blitz pull that managed to secure that kill. Vayne unfortunately not getting an assist there, so I don't know exactly what happens in that lane. But yeah, at least they managed to pick up first blood. That was definitely a good advantage for our team. It means Blitz can get boots a little bit earlier, means you can get some more wards. Still generally good. Shyvana picking up the assist means she can actually get that faster wriggles, which is quite nice. The faster wriggles we can get, the faster we can go do dragon. So here, gonna go get my first blue buff. I don't think I actually get it. I think something messes up, or she accidentally auto attacks it or something, which sucks. I think that happens twice in this game, which is really bad for Morgana. Morgana having a blue is very strong and definitely something you want to do. Yeah, I assumed that my pull would take the last hit, and then he stands still and accidentally auto attacks it. So Yeah, that part sucks. But no real worries. I don't have that much mana in my reserves, but I sort of, every single wave I clear with my pool and auto attacks, and then when the next wave comes I will have another lot of mana to use pool again. That was a bit of a wasted pool there actually. I only got 1 minion. I assumed that more of them were alive, but it doesn't really matter. So as I was saying about Shyvana and Malphite actually, that's a very strong top lane because usually your jungler has the ganking capabilities, the CC, but Malphite has his own CC, so the ganks up there will be quite strong due to Shyvana. Shyvana obviously having a very strong clear speed, but the only problem is she has no CC, and that is absolutely terrible. That's the reason why she has got exhaust. You really need to pick that up in Shyvana. You can't go out there and go jungle with flash. Sometimes you can do it if you're being very aggressive earlier on, which our Shyvana isn't. She's not counter invading, she's not stealing any jungle. I suppose that's the same thing, but still. If she was, then in that case flash may be acceptable, because if you get caught out in their jungle, that can be a first blood, that can be 2 kills eventually. So that's the only time in which I see flash is actually viable on a Shyvana. All the other times though, exhaust will win 10 times over. Very good for ganking lanes. Most of our lanes however do have pretty adequate CC. I think it's just to add on that a little bit extra. For example, ganking Malphite before he is 6, or ganking me before I'm 6, etc. Although my lane should not really be ganked, that is the thing. My lane, definitely not a lane that you want to be ganking early. You want to be... this lane basically wants to be a farm fest. There's not really much point in ganking this lane. You're not going to really get that far. With me, I obviously have flash, I have bind, so I can bind you before you actually do anything. I have my black shield, so Anivia's stun doesn't affect me, and the enemy jungler is Shen, so his taunt won't affect me. Same thing with Anivia. She has her AoE slow on her ulti, which she does have now. She has a stun, she has a wall, and after all that, she has a second life. So there's not really much you can do to gank either person in these lanes, which makes it obviously a very good farming lane. And we do actually get quite high CS, both me and Anivia, so it's pretty good and works out pretty well late game. So the lanes to gank really are bot lane and top lane. Bot lane are going to be amazing for ganking because they do have the Blitzcrank, and top lane because of the ulti. For the enemy team, I suppose Wukong, he does have his ulti. His ulti is very strong CC, and they've also got the Shen CC of the taunt. Bot, not so much. It is a little bit. There, I thought I wouldn't actually get caught out, so I didn't black shield, but it worked out for the best because I did shield that stun, but then I do die, so not exactly the best. Right there, Shyvana does manage to knock out Anivia, but she does go to egg form, and I'm pretty sure she survives that. So kind of unlucky for Shyvana. She sort of just couldn't get the kill on that egg. I had assumed that I would have survived. I sort of, after I got out of the taunt and then I black shielded, I assumed I would have lived and not died to the ultimate, and then the, what is it, frostbite from Anivia. So that was a mistake on my part. I really, that was not, I shouldn't have died there. That was my mistake. If I had used flash straight after the taunt, I probably would have got out there fine, because I wouldn't have been affected by the slowing effect, or the chill effect rather, from Anivia, so frostbite wouldn't have done 1 damage. But still, you know, just unlucky. It can happen to really anybody. But that does allow me to pick up my catalyst, and Anivia goes back, and I think she picks up her catalyst. Yes, she does. And she also gets a sight ward, which I did not. And the reason why I didn't get a sight ward, I know I just died to Shen, but as I said, this is more of a farming lane. They got pretty, I don't want to say lucky with that gank, but it was perfectly timed, and it was a bit stupid on my part, so I knew I wasn't going to make that mistake again and just continue farming. So there's not really much point in buying a ward. I know that makes me sound really bad, but you know. Top, however, obviously having wards and bot as well. So we do have a little bit of vision on the river. Right there, we're sort of just trading damage now. I suppose I'm now trading more with Anivia because she does not have her egg form, so I sort of want to get her low. I want to see if I can get Shyvana to come in for a gank, because if she can come in for a gank while the egg form is down, that's just one of her abilities that she can't use. And then if I can make her by poking me, or if I can just use a lot of her abilities, then it could work out for the best in my lane. But I just know that Neve is going to blue, so there's not really much to do. But I think I go for blue in a second. Yeah. So yeah, I actually get blue on this time, which is very good. As I said before, blue very good on Morgana. Lets her farm that much better. The cooldown reduction is amazing for your pool. It basically means you can farm a lot faster and more efficiently due to the mana regen. Yeah, this is where Shyvana was a bit like annoying, because she thought she was going to steal it again, so she sort of smited and ran while it's still on about 40% HP, which is a bit annoying, but I understand the logic. She doesn't want to steal it from me again. She wants to give the second blue, so I'm about even on Anivia now, because I was going to get the first blue, but I unfortunately didn't get it. But Anivia didn't get her first blue either. Shen took that for the XP, so it worked out equally, so not too bad. Only problem now is that Anivia does have blue. That's one of the worst things that can really happen, because you do not want Anivia to have a blue, because it means that she can just farm all day and all night, and you know that's never good on an Anivia. She can get very fed, very strong, and start one-shotting your carries. Well, she can't really one-shot her carries, but she has a very good utility skill tree, which can allow her bruisers to kill the carries. Anyway, I think something's gonna happen here. I might just speed this up a tad. Yeah, here we go. So now I'm going down the river to try and get a double kill, actually, and then Alistair goes onto Blitzcrank, gets the pull off. I managed to get the bind, and here comes the ulti going onto all three of them, which was pretty nice. Graves does flash, and then he dashes in a second, but we do manage to pick the kill, because I think I get the binding, yeah, and then the pull, and then the Shen ulti actually goes off, but it doesn't save him. So that's pretty good. But we couldn't pick up the secondary kill. I don't know why Shyvana was diving. We might have been able to pick up the kill if I had continued. I don't know. I don't really think so. But still, that's a very nice advantage that we just gained. Here, I was stupid. I was like, where's Anivia? Why is she not in her lane? Should have really realized that she was going to be in that bush. But it does mean that I have my flash down now. Which is not very good for Morgana. Later on in this game, I have a lot of difficulties with Morgana due to the fact that her ulti was getting extremely hard to use properly in a team fight, because I got to the point where I had my Rod of Ages, I had my Sork boots, but I just didn't have enough gold because I had no kills to be able to buy a Zhonya's. So as soon as I got the Zhonya's, though, I was doing pretty fine. But speed this up a little bit. Don't want a too long video for me to upload. Okay, Anivia's back. It's all good. And I'm pretty sure she bought... no, she bought a blasting one. So we're pretty much identical builds. That's what I like about this lane. It's quite fun to watch, because me and Anivia build the exact same thing, apart from... I think it's on the second item that we build, because I'm pretty sure Anivia, 9 times out of 10, will build a death cap after her rower. So other than that, we're pretty much identical, because Morgana builds the Zhonya's. Same thing with Kennen. Some mid lanes are much better to buy Zhonya's first rather than a Rabadon's. Morgana is definitely one of those, because if you have your ulti... I was going to actually go top, but realised Malphite got out of it, so I thought, is there really much I can do up there? No, not really. I might as well just go back to farming. As I was saying, there are some champions that are really good with the Zhonya's. Kennen is really good with Zhonya's. Karthus, really good with the first Zhonya's. Well, I suppose that's a bit more debatable. I think Karthus would be better off with a death cap first rather than a Zhonya's. Anyway, yeah, Kennen, Morgana, those people are absolutely amazing to have as Zhonya's, because they need to get up close and personal in a team fight. That is very difficult to do on a squishy AD carry. and you'll see why later in this video. And there's an Anivia up top, and I didn't call SS, so you know, I'm amazing at this game. And there's an Anivia sort of flying around. I do actually get the pool and the thing off, but then I didn't actually realize Shen was over there. He does flash bind me, and I black shield myself after the taunt just in case a stun does come out. Doesn't know. I think that binds. If I'd missed that bind on Anivia, I probably would have died then. So that was very well played on my part, I think. Because then she would have been free to go and stun me. I probably would not have got the black shield off fast enough, and she would have just began to burst me down with all of her utility. And of course my flash is still down from before. And we see at bot lane, Shyvana is actually doing pretty well. She's camping the bot lane, which is what I like. Do not come mid, because at no point is farm lane. Top, you have Malphite. He's not the greatest damage dealer. You do a bit of damage, but still. This engage was not the best. I missed my bind there due to the flash. I was sort of chasing. I wanted to see if I could maybe get an auto attack and ignite off. Maybe that might pick up the kill. But we do apologize for all the sniffing. I do have hay fever. It's the frickin' season. This part annoyed me right here. Vayne just annoyed me because she moved Dragon out of the pool, which is really annoying because that is almost like 80% of my damage. But we do pick up the first dragon, pretty much uncontested. I'm not exactly sure why it was uncontested. I think it was because Anivia was very low, whereas I was high in health. So if they did engage, it would be a 3 versus 4. So it probably would have turned bad in their favor. I do also have my ultimate, so that AoE stun is pretty much a team fight killer. That's one of the reasons why Morgana is banned usually in solo queue. Just because that ultimate is just so strong, and in lower elos people just don't know how to deal with it. So yeah. But I think this is where, yeah, Anivia gets her row before me. This is where she starts getting a bit ahead of me, because she does have that extra kill. But I'm about 5 CS ahead of her, so it's not really noticeable. But she does get that row before me, which is not very good. So I don't even think I can buy it. Yeah, right there. I was gonna go get blue, and then the proc from Wriggles kills my blue, and I'm just like, I need blue. Anivia has blue and I don't, and this is where I start losing my CS, which sucks. But you know what you're gonna do. So at the moment, not looking too bad. We now are 5-1, which is very nice. We have the very good, strong early lead, which is definitely what you like. If we look at the scores, we actually have Vayne on 3-0-1. Very nice down there. Just building that Infinity Edge really quickly. Not going to bother going for the Doran's Blades. Just going to go straight out for it. Shyvana being in every single one of the team's kills at the moment. So definitely a strong presence from the jungler. Me being in 2 out of the 5. Alright, here I go top because I saw Anivia going top. See if we could maybe get a fight out of this. I'm pretty sure we just disengage because Anivia and Shen do go back. But that is, unfortunately, Shyvana's ultimate down, which it's not. Shyvana's ultimate is a bit weird because it doesn't run on a cooldown, it runs on your Fury. And you get that by auto-attacking minions, monsters, in jungle, etc. So, in a sense, it can have an amazingly long cooldown, and it can have an amazingly short cooldown. It's simply how you try to use it. For example, now, it's going to be going up very, very slow, so she's not going to have it for about, I don't know, 140, 160 seconds. But if she started attacking something, she'd have it a lot faster. And right there's the exact reason why you can't gank mid, is because that wall. Even if she didn't use the wall for whatever reason, she could have used the stun. If Shyvana had flashed, even though she didn't have flash. You know, there's just loads of possibilities. We do actually see Malphite nearby the race. I don't know what Malphite was really doing here. This was a bit of a bad fight, because Shyvana, as I did say, did not have her ultimate up. We see Wukong in the bush there. Malphite's really going for it. I'm not exactly sure why, but I do get stunned by Anivia, instantly walking into it. Black shielding myself just in case I get taunted, but Malphite does. So I use my ultimate there. It actually falls off Anivia and it only lands on Wukong, which is really bad. And then gets stunned again. There goes the Flash Frost after my flash, and it kills me. So, sorry, the Frostbite. So that was not really a good fight for us. Malphite did pick up the kill on Wukong, and I died. So it was alright, but they essentially came off a little bit better. Shyvana's health was very low. It's only about 500. So yeah, we came off a little bit worse in that team fight, but it's not too bad. I mean, we lost one person, which was me. And this is where I start my feeding spree, basically. But I do give quite a lot of kills, which is really not what you want to be doing, but it does mean that I'm basically worthless, so I'm sort of trying at this point not to pick up kills. Because the problem is if you're giving a lot of kills, if you're 0 and 4 for example, and you gain a kill, that resets the amount of gold you're worth to the enemy. So if you were 0 4, you may only be worth like, I don't know, 100 gold, 150. But if you get a kill, then it instantly resets to 300, and that's just hurting the enemy more than it's gaining you. So that's what you really don't want to do. So sort of going support Morgana here. There goes a flash frost onto me. I didn't realize Anivia was there. The wall blocking me off. But here comes Vayne. Watch this damage from Vayne. There she goes. Just, and I think she gets a crit here as well. Look at that damage. The Shen ultimate has to go down, and she has to flash. That is how much damage Vayne is doing right now. It's absolutely insane. So I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why we won this game. Spoilers. Okay, I'm gonna bleep that out. But yeah. So Malphite's getting ganked, to be honest. Sort of try and help. I do get the bind, but here comes Vayne and Blitzcrank actually, and this was really nice for us because I don't think the enemy realized bot lane was up here. So we do pick up the kill onto Alistar there, which is nice. It is a support, which isn't the best person to kill because he is he was 0-4, but it's still a kill nonetheless. It does make them a bit weaker. It does allow us to take objectives such as this tower. The pull almost getting Wukong. If that had got Wukong, I would have laughed so hard. Here I go for the bind, and I get his clone. I'm like, ah, damn you, Wukong, no. And he did flash. The flash actually saving his life, because if he didn't, I probably would have got my ultimate off on him. And due to all that shenanigans up at top lane, Anivia is free to attack my turret, and I think it goes down now, which makes me sad face. So yeah, that really sucks. And Black Shield myself, just in case. And Anivia's already bush raped me once, so I assume she might try for it again. So just in case I get Flash Frost. But back to farming, and I'm on 133 CS. She's on 136. So she's already beaten me in farm. The problem is she is still ahead of me, and this is because she's on 2-0-0, whereas me, I'm on 0-2-4. 4 assists doesn't really equate to 2 kills, unfortunately. One of the assists was on Alistar. So in fact, 2 of the assists were on Alistar, so he's not really worth much, so the assist will be worth even less. So, yeah, Shyvana's now like, you go take it. I'm not going to help you because I'm scared of taking blue buff. So I'm like, whatever. So, yeah, pretty much any mid can really solo blue buff. I see that happening a lot in high level play. I see mid characters going solo the buffs. It basically means that their jungler doesn't have to go all the way to blue buff, tank it for a little bit, and then go where else. They can just go to wherever they want. It can even mean saving a life sometimes. So it's definitely a good thing to do, but you have to have the right mid. Right here, I do get to the team fight a little bit late, which is kind of what lost us this. So I go in the middle, ulti, and then it knocks off Shen, and it only hits Wukong, which sucks. Didn't even pick up the kill for it. In fact, it may have picked up on Alistar as well, but I do get pretty low life here. And Graves flashing in to get me, but guess what's up? Flash. And so I do make it out of there fine. I do actually hit the bind on Graves, and oh, I was kicking myself there, because if I had actually managed to get the pool underneath him, he would have died. And that would have been an amazing kill. And right here, I'm just like, oh, yes! And you could hear that sound effect right there that he was buckshotting, trying to get me from, trying to stop me from teleporting. But nope, already long gone. So we did lose that fight there, but the enemy team, I don't think they took Dragon. So that's a very, 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 very good thing for us. That is not shut down on Vayne. That's not a good thing. But it's a very good thing that they didn't take Dragon, because it doesn't mean it's up for us to take We just have to kill them. So it sounds harder than it sounds. Easier. No. What is it? What's the expression? Sounds easier than it actually is. Is that it? Yeah, I'm sure that's it. Anyway. So I'm pretty sure they didn't take... at this point I was thinking, yeah, they've taken Dragon, there's no point. And Vayne's complaining it takes 4 people to kill her. I'm like, I've already died 2 times, shut up. I haven't got a kill yet. Poor Morgana. And unfortunately this is how I play Morgana, which really sucks. I'm not the type of Morgana to get kills. I know that sounds weird. I'm completely with the bind there. If that bind had hit Anivia, I was sort of aiming for Wukong defensively to save Malphite, but no saving really. And that Flash Frost there, I was like, no! No, it's not fair. But if I had binded Anivia, we would have got a kill on Anivia as well. Which is pretty depressing to know that you've just cost your team a kill. So, right now, I do have my needlessly large rod and I have my rower. And for some reason, it takes me quite a while to get my Zhonyas. If you look at the time now, it's 25 minutes. Now, just remember that time. And wait until you see the time that I do actually get my Zhonyas. It's quite depressing. Which, it does cause us to lose a couple of team fights. And that's really bad. I need to be farming a lot more. This Malphite annoyed the heck out of me because he kept on stealing my farm. Well, not really stealing because we're all in the lane, but you know, I really needed this farm. I needed to get enough money to buy the Zhonyas because that is an amazing item for Morgana. Right here, terrible initiate here. I think Malphite is going for the ulti on the carries. I get warded off, unfortunately. I'm trying to get in the middle just so I can get my ulti off, but then I get knocked up by Wukong. Here goes the ulti, and I think I die before it actually stuns, which is really not good. That's exactly why the Zhonyas would be very nice there. So I got focused a little bit. They saw the purple rings. That's the only problem with Morgana, is if the enemy sees those purple thingies, then they'll be like, yeah, we're all going to get stunned. Focus Morgana right now, which is not good. And this is actually quite... Oh, no, sorry, not this bit. I'm getting ahead of myself already. I played this game about 2 hours ago, so I remember some bits of it, but not all the details. So, yeah, I just thought it was one of those games that you said GG at the end, and it wasn't a pleasantry. You said GG at the end because you meant it. And man, I wish I could rewind on this, because amazing moment from Malphite there. He, during that team fight before he got away, did he get away? I'm pretty sure he got away. Or he might have died. I can't remember. But he managed to kill Graves just before getting away or dying, which is what sort of saved us here, because they were, you could easily see that they were going to go for Baron, and we were thinking, yeah, they're probably going to go for Baron. But because they didn't have the DPS from Graves, they only had it from Anivia, whose DPS isn't really that strong. She's more of a bursty champion. They had Wukong, who again is a bit more bursty than sustained DPS, but is a bit better than Anivia. They had a Shen and an Alistair, so they didn't have Graves, which was sort of what made them not do Baron, because if you don't have Graves, you're just not doing enough damage. You're not going to be able to take Baron down fast enough. Right there, I whiff both my abilities again, but we do get the epic fall into Anivia, and this is where the chaos starts. The flash goes out from Anivia. She does go into egg form. We're all like, no, we forgot about the egg form. So I managed to get a bind onto Wukong while he's ulting, which is quite nice. And the pool manages to help get the kill on Anivia. I black shield myself to no avail, which is sort of sucky. But we do pick up a kill, and they also pick up a kill. Gotta turn off this camera mode. So, unfortunately, Blitzcrank does get caught out. This means that it's now 4v3. So, we're on the lower hand. And you can see right now, the score is 11-10. That's not good, because we were originally like 9-2, I believe. Something ridiculous like that, you know. So, we are sort of getting shut down, sort of showing that this team's a little bit better mid-game, and our team's a little bit better early game. And then, unfortunately, Shyvana gets caught out a little bit there as well. She sort of wasn't expecting the taunt, I don't think. I think she was expecting just to take the towers. So again, that's not good either. And me currently sitting on 0-4-6. So I'm a very supporty Morgana here. Malphite again getting caught out as well. It's just not going well. We're sort of dying for stupid reasons. We're going out there and just sort of giving our lives for no reason. Which is sort of what made this game a bit more even right now. If you look at the score, it is 11-12. So they're actually beating us in kills now. It's really not good. Yeah, like Malphite says in the chat, from 9-2 to 11-12. So we sort of have to get our act together here. If we look on the enemy team, no one's particularly fed, which is a good thing. The kills are very spread out. Obviously, Alistar having no kills, Nivea having 2 kills, Shen having 2 kills, Graves having 4, Wukong having 4. So they're very spread out, which means no particular character is very powerful right now. They're all equally powerful. But the main kill targets definitely have to be Graves and Wukong. The reason why Anivia not so much is that she has her egg form. If she has her egg form, it means that you have to do twice the amount of damage just to get her down before you focus anyone else. So it's sort of better to get down Graves, who does a lot of damage, and then maybe Wukong if he's not too tanky, but he does have a frozen heart, a giant spell, and a ruby crystal. So maybe not Wukong. Okay, ignore what I said there. But definitely Anivia and Graves. So I think now what our team needs to do is get a good team fight. That's the way we're going to be able to do this. We need a good team fight. If we can get a decent team fight in this game, then we can sort of pull it back and we can group up. So I think if I remember correctly, we catch someone off guard in a minute. So that's sort of what turned it around a little bit. Graves did DC. I'm not exactly sure why. Nothing was said in all chat. So which is quite nice. This game was very low flame. You know, no one talked in all chat. And I was just saying earlier, it's one of those games that GG was not a complimentary. It wasn't something that you just, oh, it's with the usual. And we actually catch out Anivia here, which is very nice. I do miss the binding, and I ulti. Really not the best use of my ulti. That was terrible play by me. But I was doing it just to secure this kill, because we needed that 1 kill advantage, basically. So, we do kill Dragon here for the extra gold. There's not really much they can do. I do get the binding on Graves. That was very nice. Alistar sort of headbutted away from the bind, which is really nice because he couldn't do any damage. And we do pick up the kill on Graves. Malphite ultimate onto him, just dominating him right there. And also the Shyvana ulti doing lots of damage. He managed to get the slow onto Alistar, unfortunately, after he'd used his what do you even call that item again? Wow, I'm completely losing it. Shirelius, that was it. How could I forget Shirelius? Anyway, so Vayne, yeah, he just got a double kill. So 9-2. That's a very deadly thing. Vayne is definitely not one you want to get the kills. Again, hyper carry, etc., etc. So this means that we can do what they didn't, and that is get Baron, which is not good for their team, because our team with Baron means that Vayne will hit phenomenally hard. And the thing I also like about this team comp that sort of makes me think it'd be really good in sort of professional play is that Vayne is really powerful. Vayne is incredibly powerful. She can 1v1 pretty much any champion right now. She does so much burst damage and sustain that damage as well. Also, I'm saying in chat, I've got Zonya, so 32-30. That's about 7.5 minutes. So 7 minutes 30 seconds. Don't know why I said 0.5, but yeah. So 7 minutes 30 seconds to go from a needlessly large rod to a Zonya is very bad. So that was my bad in that case. But as I was saying, this team comp, what I really like about it is that Vayne does so much burst damage and sustained damage that they need to take her down. At the same time, if they leave me to run into their group and ulti, then they're also screwed, because that means they can't stop Vayne. So it sort of leaves the enemy team in a bit of conundrum. Who do they focus first? Do they focus me or Vayne? If they focus me first, they get no stun, Vayne is free to do damage. If they focus Vayne first, Vayne can't do any damage, but I get my stun off, Vayne can then do damage. That's the real thing, so I think they sort of have to split up. If, for example, Shen went on to Vayne and Wukong went on to me, then that would work. because then someone will be stopping me from getting my ulti off, and then Shen will be stopping Vayne from doing any serious damage. So that's pretty much what they need to do in order to beat us. Right here, I love this. Like, what you see me do here is I just poke them down with my my bind and my pull. My bind and my pull doing pretty decent damage right about now. So I can just keep on spamming that and keep on using that to get their health down, which is a very good idea. We're sort of relying on Blitz here to get some decent pulls off. Unfortunately, he does get warded, so it's pretty difficult for him to get a decent pull. And I do actually get Graves there, so I get him down to about half life. And even with the Alistair heal, which is very nice, it means he's probably going to have to go back, because if we initiated on them right now, then Graves would die, like, instantaneously. He's just lost so much health. And I get Wukong before he clones. I thought he'd cloned then. I was sort of looking at him like, oh, you've cloned that. But no, he didn't, so I thought that was pretty good. And we're actually trying to take this turret. Only problem is, you see this a lot with Froggen, to name names, is that Anivia sort of denies you from taking towers. The Flash Frost going through all the minions, doing damage, and then also when activating it doing extra damage after going through them, and then the ulti from Anivia, and then the wall, you know, all of those things in conjunction are going to stop you from taking a tower pretty easily. We just couldn't really get close to this tower. We needed a decent pull from Blitz, or we needed something like that. There's the pull. Anivia's sort of stopped there. She's half-life, so she can't really do much. And Alistair taking tons of damage. Unfortunately, again, I get CC'd way too hard. I'm pretty sure they focused me quite a bit there. So I didn't even have time to pop my Zhonya's. That was the bad part. But I was too far forward into the fight. That was my bad again. I shouldn't have been that far into the fight. Malphite doing an amazing job there. Getting the thing off onto Anivia to get her egg form down, and this is quite nice. You see Vayne here, and they think, oh, you know what, we can actually get this kill. So they managed to pick up the kill on Wukong, but he does have Ignite, and here comes Vayne, going to do 1v1 with Graves, pushes him back, and then gets the auto attack. That was a pretty insane play from Vayne, I thought there. So that's sort of what gave us a slight bit advantage as well. Just the absolutely amazing play from Vayne sort of gave us this win in this team fight. So, you know, because we did come off, we came off the same. So I wouldn't exactly call it a win, but we did take down, oh no, actually, no, we lost a support for a support because Alistair died and Blitzcrank died. We lost a carry for a carry, me for Graves, and we lost a jungler for a top. So we came off a slightly better, I think. I think Vayne still having that Baron buff is definitely a better thing than her dying, of course. But I still think we won that encounter in that perspective. If she had got CC'd as much as me and bursted down that quickly and I survived, I don't think it would have been as good, to be honest, because I'm not that useful at the moment. I haven't really got successful ulti off into the team fights. I've been getting some binds off and been sort of stopping people that way and doing a bit of damage on the side, reducing their resists. But other than that, not really much else. So I don't think really much happens. We're going to skip this a little bit. Yeah, basically just clearing, just trying to get to the next team fight and just try to take this turret. We need to take more turrets. We're sort of behind on turrets slightly. I suppose, I don't know if you'd classify this as behind. Our mid lane is a lot more pushed than theirs, but we've pushed all of their tier 1s. They've only pushed 2 of ours, so I would say we're sort of in the loss, because if we lose, if for example I got caught out here by something random, and then they also catch Vayne out and she dies, then we've sort of, you know, they could probably take an inhibitor with us down. So, you know. But right now it's sort of, we're sort of just going into lane farming, etc. We're waiting for this one over here. We're waiting for that Baron, and this is possibly my most favorite moment of the game, and you'll see why. If you notice, it isn't very well warded. That's the bad thing there. It hasn't actually spawned yet, because we do actually have the spawn thingy, and it will show up when it's spawned. because we were obviously the ones to kill it. And we see Shen walking away, so we're thinking they may actually not be there, because if Shen's walking away, why would Shen walk away? Why would the jungle walk away? There they are! Oh no! There goes the ulti from Malphite, my ulti, my Zhonya's, and we just won that team fight. And I picked up a double kill as well. I was pretty proud of that, and that was unfortunate for them, because this is a free Baron for us. Unfortunately, we didn't have a ward in that bush, and our ward was Malphite. He walked in there, and then it was like, oh no! And then instinctively ultied, I ultied, everyone ultied. And that's what won us that team fight, which was very, very nice. Gave us a free Baron. And sort of the next team to get Baron was sort of looking like the victor here, because this does mean we can push that turret. Shen can't really come stop us. I mean, he could try and then die, but you know, where's the purpose in that? So even though like Shen's pretty strong and he is banned because his ulti is considered pretty OP, but even his ulti could not help that team fight. I don't think ulting someone in that team was even worthwhile, because we would have just killed them way too quickly. So yeah, he sort of went back, and that's a free inhib to us. We managed to pick up the tier 2, the inhib turret, and the inhib. I saw Malphite, he was sort of a bit greedy there, sort of like, oh yeah, we can pick up a few more kills, but no, not a good idea. And we do actually pick up a pull here, Blitz does, and he pulls Wukong rather. Not the best one to pull. Unfortunately, I did miss my bind, but he did use his clone anyway. So, sort of a bit of a disengage there. Got a lisp now, apparently. But yeah, I get some nice farm now. I'm like, yes, farm! We all love farm! And so they're really behind red team right now. It's really not looking good for them. If I keep on getting binds like that, Graves has to flash over the wall because he knew he was going to get caught out if he just stayed there. And there goes the engage by Malphite, trying to pick up this kill on Graves. Graves is taking so much damage. I get my ulti off on pretty much everybody, but then obviously a couple of people walk out, so I don't get off anybody. But I do use my Zhonya's, which is quite nice. Nivea does go into egg form, which means she's useless. Shield Shyvana just in case something happens, and I think she almost gets taunted there. So my black shield sort of saved her from the taunt. And I'm sort of just, I'm not really going into the fight here because I thought that you know, I don't really want to be taking these turret shots because I will not survive in comparison to Shyvana or Malphite. But yeah, so this sort of means that this turret is ours in the inhib, or we do have 2 super minions. And for those of you cheaters looking at this thing that shows the duration of the game left, yeah, pretty much this was GG. We won that team fight, which basically gave us the game. They played really well, but I think them giving us the Baron, them trying to trap us, was where they failed, because Shen wasn't there. Shen was split pushing to alright. Shen obviously is widely picked for his split pushing capability, but I think he died too quickly to be... their entire team died too quickly. They underestimated our damage. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this little LOL match. It was a really nice game that I played. Please tell me if you want to see more from my perspective, from actual games that I play, and I'll be sure to look for some more games to show you guys. But I think the next video I'm going to upload is going to be another featured list video, because they're just sort of easier. I know I sound a bit lazy, but they're also better because they're 2.3k elo or whatever. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you all next time.